Idubbbz is right and his haters are idiots. What do I mean by that? Well, the first thing I would point at is the whole relationship with Anissa thing. I feel like any normal, well-adjusted adult, so it's not to say all the kids that are involved in this, I would estimate a fair amount, especially when it comes to like the fan bases of Some Ordinary Gamers, H3, XQC, any of those like trash internet shows. I'm sure there is a large portion of like literal 12-year-olds who are probably lying about their age. So the demographics are probably all fucked up. But I like feel like a lot of the time when I'm arguing with these people, I'm arguing with like a child because they don't seem to understand like basic aspects of adult relationships. And like, so for example, with the Anissa and Idubbbz situation, they do this really weird thing where they imply that, well, not imply, they outright say that Idubbbz is like uncomfortable or is like shamed, like feeling shame in moments when he's like hanging out with Anissa on their podcast. And it's just a really, not only is it like completely fucking insane to just like look at someone's facial expressions and try to deem like some type of meaning from that without just asking them. A lot of people just don't know what the fuck's on their face at any time. But like for them specifically, it's really weird to like say that their relationship is like fucked up or that Ian doesn't want to be there simply because the relationship is there. Like he's doing the show with her. He's doing all of this with her. He is obviously invested in this relationship more than anybody like who is critical of Idubbbz like really like believes. And I think it really just shows that a lot of these people are just super young and have never been in like really long-term relationships. And I've been in only long-term relationships. So when I think of a relationship, I think of like a lot of compromise. And when I think about content creation, I think of a lot of times where, especially if you're consistently on camera, there will be times where you aren't in the greatest mood. And if you're constantly doing content with your partner and you're personally like close to this person, the expressing of like negative emotions and attitudes, and I'm not even saying that this is like a consistent thing that Idubbbz does, but if it were to happen, it is completely expected because this is with a very close person in their life. This is like a family member. It's like being like, and this isn't to compare Anissa to being like a mother figure to Idubbbz, but it's like saying, oh, this kid who's like angry with his mom in this moment, he fucking hates his mom, dude. That fucking little kid, he hates his mom. You see how he's like throwing a fit on the ground? He must fucking hate his parents. He doesn't want to fucking be there. He's like fucking trapped in this situation. It's just ridiculous. Like, people are more willing to express these negative emotions with people that they're close to. And so, therefore, someone like Idubbbz isn't going to be like more like cheery or putting on a face when he's with his partner. And so it's just really weird. And I feel like a lot of people who are younger just haven't experienced like the like dynamics of being with someone for a long time. I just don't think that they understand that. And I think that the ones who are older, the Idubbbz haters who are older and still talking about Anissa too, they're probably shit in relationships. They're probably no good to be around if you're a woman. And they like this whole claiming that he is a cuck because he does what his girlfriend tells him to do, or because he took his girlfriend's name when they were married. I don't even know why I'm referring to her as his girl. It's his wife. But the fact remains that this is just a close family member in a sense. And it's just like, I don't know. I think if anybody were to have their relationships, their interpersonal relationships, criticized or looked at that deeply, you can come up with a myth or like a fantasy alternate reality type of criticism for anybody. Your fucking grandma and grandpa who have been together for fucking 60 years, you can take a day out of their life and overanalyze it and create a whole narrative about how they hate each other, but it's clearly not true from from the circumstances of their relationship. And so there's that, and I don't think it necessarily makes someone an idiot to not have this family type of dynamic with a partner. I think it probably makes you a bad partner, but I don't think it makes you an idiot. But there are other things that the Idubbbz haters seem to be obsessed with that points at the fact that they are just dumb. One thing is that for some reason there are crowds of people who take direction on talking points from Ethan Klein, who is like an idiot. And if you're listening to an idiot and you don't see how he's an idiot and how his talking points are bad, then you're an idiot yourself. And one example would be the swastika sword, and how Ethan was both acknowledging that it was obviously not meant to be like a swastika dog whistle, but also implying that it was meant to be a swastika dog whistle. So people call him anti-Semitic. And an extension of that is the fact that Zach on the fucking on H3 explicitly called Anissa a Jew-hating bitch. And this is because they're the narrative they've built for Idubbbz and Anissa is that they're anti-Semitic because they're friends with Hassan Piker, who is just a progressive YouTuber that Ethan hates. And another example of people being really stupid and hating Idubbbz because they're stupid is the fact that there's just this whole narrative about this charity being fake, and the last Creator Clash, which was canceled, being fake because they weren't taking the ticket money and making it into the funneling it straight to the charity, which, I mean, it's just so stupid to even have a obviously you're never going to get a discussion going with somebody who's just going to assume that a charity is fake because ticket prices aren't going to this charity. You're going to have to sit down and explain to them the process that you've developed around your business. And it is, first of all, it's nobody's fucking business how you're managing the money in your thing. It's a charity, and the function of the charity is that you pay for a ticket and then you donate separately to the charity. That doesn't it doesn't mean that the event isn't really a charity. It's there are so many charity events where you pay for the event by paying for the ticket, and then the charity is extra stuff past that. I mean, they have really dumb shit where they do some towns will do local festival things where you pay to get into the festival and then you donate money to do things in the festival. And that isn't how Creator Clash was, but it is an example of structuring your thing differently than what you would what someone who's only ever visualized charities as being non-profit companies that exist purely for the charity's sake Like, if that's all you think charity can be, then you're stupid. You haven't spent any time thinking about it at all. Like, it is a charity stream not a charity stream because the creator who does the charity stream is also paying the 3% to YouTube? Is that, or 30% to YouTube? Does that make it not a charity? Like, it's just ridiculous. And obviously it makes sense to change it to that way if the last time you did the event, it lost money and the charity didn't get any money from that. They went and did a live stream afterwards to get, like, to recoup some money for that. But the fact is that they had them tied together, and because of that, the second year there was no money for the charity. So doing it the other way this year, or whenever it was supposed to be, was meant to make sure that the charity always got money even if the event failed financially. So you're just a fucking idiot if you don't understand that.